Felt good to upload a prank, a couple pranks. Yeah, some of you were like, why didn't you put this on the main channel? I don't know, I didn't like it that much. Sometimes I think it's good enough, sometimes I don't. Some of you were like, why didn't you get that Asian girl's number? You could have got her number, bro. I don't always want the number, even if they look like they're into me. I guess I thought that way when I was 18, like, I have to get her number. You're like, yo, yeah. I guess the correct answer is, yeah, sure, I should have got her number. July 30th, 2017. What are you guys up to these days? What have you been up to? You in school? I thought about going back to school. Just getting my bachelor's in journalism or something easy. Digital media would be, film actually would be make the most sense now. English or film. It probably would be a lot different because I can kind of know practically how I would use the skills and etc. Should probably do that. I got a good story for you, I think. I've been meaning to tell you stories. I don't know, it's hard to get out of my head sometimes. Ooh, here's a nice sit. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, that's wet. Never mind. Wait, well, yeah, alright. Bonnie! 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 Oh shit. I just lost Bonnie. Bonnie! She's gotta be around here somewhere. I'm not quite worried yet. And that running was a little unnecessary. Bonnie is nowhere to be seen. Oh, there she is. Oh my god. Bonnie, come here. Oh my gosh. Little black and white animal. Hey! Bonnie, come! Good girl, that's a good dog. You're so smart. You're so smart. Lassie! The weeds are taller than her. She's prancing. Prance! Prance! Hey! Hey! Don't run off like that. Ah, you scared me. Stay with me. Man, she's gonna get mauled by something. Let's get out of these weeds. You're gonna get a tick, girl. She's got a tick collar, so that helps. Oh. Stay here. What do you got on your nose? Stay here, will you? No, Bonnie, don't. No, Bonnie, where are you going? Yo, I gotta go put her inside. I can't keep doing this. Okay, I'm walking back and she's nowhere to be seen. I walked all the way back to the house and she's not there. She like walked ahead of me. Bonnie! Where were you? Come on. It's so annoying. She was gone for like 20 minutes. Little explorer. Let's talk about this one crazy girl I used to know. Crazy is a broad term us guys give to girls that we have huge crushes on. Let's call her name Ashley. We met in 2010, my sophomore year in college, and we started hanging out just through hanging out with friends. And this is about the same time I met one of my best friends, and let's say his name's Robert. And so we all started hanging out together, like her friends and my friends, and Robert. And a couple weeks later, after meeting her and her friends, this is in the fall, like when everyone just moved into student housing, and is like meeting kind of like her apartment was like 2 doors down from ours and whatever. Um, she started like playing footsie with my leg while we were all like watching a movie, and so I was like, oh, hell yeah, she likes me, because she was like kind of the cutest one, and we all knew that and talked about that. But so that night everyone kind of parted ways, and me and her were still on the couch, and we started kissing and went to my room, and she slept over. And I wasn't a virgin. No, I was still a virgin then. I didn't lose my virginity until a year later when I was 21. But yeah, we made out and stuff, and it was I was all excited the next day, like, I was like, oh, Ashley. I accidentally just said her real name. I was like, yeah, me and Ashley hooked up, and Robert was like, oh, cool, bro, or whatever. And so we had a little fling for the next couple weeks, maybe kissed a couple more times. So yeah, we'd go to parties together, and college dance parties, which is like a big thing in Utah because 90% of the population doesn't drink. So the next best thing is just like college dance parties, and everyone just dances. And so yeah, the months go by, and oh yeah, then she started like not really like me. She she started losing interest in me, and so, but I kept trying to like get her to be my girlfriend, I guess. But it wasn't working out. But we were all still friends and hanging out, whatever. And like 5 months later, we're all partying at my parents' house because my parents were out of town, and I was watching the dog for them, and I threw a little party, and her and Robert hooked up in my parents' house. So that was really devastating because he was my best friend, and I had a huge crush on her still. And I remember opening the door to one of my bedrooms in the house, and they were there like making out, and like everyone was drunk, and I was like, oh, and I just closed the door a little harsher than normal, and kind of just semi heartbroken. I just went to bed. And the next day on the ride home, because my parents' house is like an hour away from the student housing in Provo, Bountiful and Provo, and we're all just driving home, and it was like hella awkward. So anyway, they started dating that next summer, and I just moved back in with my parents for the summer and started and that was when I worked at McDonald's, actually. So I kind of avoided them and that whole group of friends pretty much for like the next couple months, because I was just kind of butthurt that they were dating. And but then I started becoming friends with them again the next school year, and everyone was fine and hanging out and blah blah blah. Then they broke up, and Robert and I became roommates again at this other house, and we're good friends again and whatever, and hanging out. Him and her are on and off, whatever. Yeah, so then he goes back home to this different state, and he was there for the summer. Oh yeah, so they broke up again, and she was staying in his room where I used to live, where he was rooming with me. She was staying there like temporarily for like a few weeks for some reason. And me and her, this was around the time Holding Hands came out. Me and her kind of just started bonding as friends again, and I don't know, we just started like getting drunk together and like hanging out, and as like it was like really really platonic, and like just like it wasn't like romantic at all. We weren't flirting. We were just like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, let's get drunk, whatever. Because by that point, we'd been friends for like 2 years. I'd known her for 2 years, and we were good in the friend zone. But then I remember I came out with Staring at People. It was like the 10th video I ever uploaded, and I remember she was like, Andrew, you look good. In Staring at People, you look good, or whatever. I was like, oh, thanks, yeah. And like Robert was in the room, and I was like, oh, cool, yeah. Thanks. But it was like we were all mature enough. I mean, it wasn't like awkward, but I just remember her saying that, and being like, oh, maybe she like starting to like me again or whatever. So then a couple weeks later, I come out with Holding Hands, and it blows up to like 5 million in a week, and It's like this huge thing. I'm on all these news stations, and I remember she was so, like something just clicked in her head. Like she was like, I don't know, like turned on by me, and a mixture of maybe like mad at Robert for some reason, getting mad at Robert. Yeah, in the whole like little 2 week party phase, we went to, so one night we went to the movies, and she wore this like really hot pink dress, I remember, and I don't know, yeah, we just started hanging out a lot, just me and her. We started drinking, like day drinking in her car, and then going to the water park. And I don't know, for some reason she just like really liked me, like out of nowhere randomly, and like wanted to hang out all the time or whatever. And like at that point it's like, yeah, you're not supposed to hook up with your best friend's ex, but also I kind of kissed her first, and I was romantic with her first technically, but and then also they broke up. And oh yeah, and I first of all, I wasn't even planning on hooking up, but we're hanging out and we go to the movies one night, and we're just drinking, and I'm really not, I wasn't trying at all. That's usually how it works too, when you're not trying. Ironically, like the girls, they pick up on that indifference, and it's a huge turn on. She just started kissing me in the movie theater, and so and she's a pretty cute girl. She's really cute. And so I started kissing her back, and then we went outside, and we went stargazing a lot. Because it's like my favorite thing to do, and I was just kissing under the stars, on a field and blanket with some vodka and Red Bull and cigarettes, and and yeah, and like the holding hands was blowing up, and my channel was doing it. It was just like it was such a rush of a week. The girl that I like had a huge crush on for so long is like liking me again or whatever. And then we get back to my place. Well, I mean, I guess our place where she was temporarily staying, and we get more drunk, and we're drinking Shock Top, and there's even this one night, like where we got so drunk that we like I started crying, like talking about my family, and she started crying talking about her family, and we just got like really emotional randomly. And then that night I remember, yeah, we had sex. I mean, it was really it was really like drunk and blurry, but yeah, so we had sex. And then so at this point it's like, holy shit, don't tell Robert. And then she kind of just, as a week went by, she like, oh yeah, her ex from like high school, her high school sweetheart, her like first love, like came and visited in town, and then she was just all about him, like, and I was like, okay, whatever, like, because it was like so quick. I was like, all right. And I did throw a little fit. I was like, and like, I tried to be, yeah, let's all hang out and go party. So we all went to Salt Lake, and I met him, and we were partying, and I kind of just ditched everyone because I couldn't handle it. She was like being all flirty around him, and it was weird. Yeah, then I went on family vacation, and for like 2 weeks, and then came back, and she had moved somewhere else, and then I didn't see her for like a month, and maybe saw her. I mean, we all friends, we all kind of just hung out. I maybe saw her like once every 4 months, over the next year or so. So then like 2 or 3 years pass, and I finally tell Robert one drunk night, because I couldn't hold it in. I don't know, I just thought it'd be a good time to tell him, even though me and Ashley had sworn to keep it a secret. And so I drunkenly told him, and I was like, yeah, it was just kind of this really quick fling. I'm sorry, I guess it was just in the moment or whatever, but it wasn't significant at all, and I don't know, and he forgave me. Like by that point, he and her had been broken up for like 2 years or so, but but he was still coincidentally, I broke my ankle the next day after telling him, and so I didn't see him for a month or two anyway. So it gave us enough time to cool off, and we're totally friends now. He was really cool about it. But yeah, then he got mad at Ashley, you know, and he told her and whatever. And about 4 months later, at that point I hadn't seen Ashley in like 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 6 months. I hadn't seen Ashley in like 6 months or so, 8 months, and I knew like she totally hated me at that point. I ran into her again when I was filming the scarecrow prank. That's a shit video, but she walked out of where we were filming, and she saw me, and we locked eyes, and I was like, oh shit. And I was sitting down filming, and I got up, and she started like walking towards me really fast, like I'm gonna fucking like kill you or something, like. and I, you know, I'm keeping my distance, like keeping like at least like a 20-foot radius from her. And she's like, Andrew, what? Why? And I was like, I'm sorry, or whatever. And then that was it. I never saw her again. And then she walked away. And yeah. So, do you think I was in the wrong hooking up with her? Or, I mean, I guess we were both in the wrong. Yeah. But, well, no, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah.